The Quick Start video tutorial series continues with video 4, the Workflow Guide. InsightEarth's Workflow Guide is a handy visual reference to achieve interpretation goals. It aids in understanding the use of InsightEarth by illustrating how to apply processes in the proper order and can be used to keep track of progress while working through an interpretation. Open the Workflow Guide from the main menu by selecting Workflows, then Workflow Guide, and the Workflow Guide window is presented. A pull-down menu at the top of the Workflow Guide contains complete workflows for currently licensed InsightEarth modules. Steps to achieve an interpretation goal are presented in order from left to right and from top to bottom. Detailed information and instructions on how to use Workflow Guide items are shown in the large window located at the bottom. Status icons are provided as visual cues for each stage and are represented by arrows of 4 colors. A green arrow indicates a required step or process. Gray upward pointing arrows indicate a dependency upon a previous item's successful completion. Selecting the Show Optional Items checkbox will display the optional steps or processes, which are indicated by yellow and orange arrow icons. A process having an orange arrow is more strongly recommended than one with a yellow arrow. The optional steps may be hidden if desired, since not all processes may be equally helpful for all surveys. The ignition workflow will be explored here, as it is a key workflow in InsightEarth. The workflow begins with the initial creation of an InsightEarth project, followed by loading the desired data, and completes with the data conditioning sequence. The Workflow Guide interacts with InsightEarth by launching the first recommended process as appropriate when the Create Selected Process button is selected. The Workflow Guide item is presented, and the Workflow Guide automatically minimizes to reveal the selected step. There can be many processes to run and steps to perform in order to properly complete an interpretation workflow. To keep track of work that has been completed, right-click on a process to mark the process as complete, and a green check mark will replace the arrow icon. To satisfy a gray arrow dependency, first complete the previous item in its entirety, and then right-click on that item and select Mark this item as completed. The gray arrow will be replaced with the correctly colored arrow icon. Workflows can be comprised of processes, interaction modes, project settings, and input-output functionality. Each selection of a process will launch the appropriate item. Most commonly, a process is launched from the Workflow Guide, and when this is the case, the process appears in the process network as shown here. To restore a hidden Workflow Guide, select Workflows from the main menu and then Workflow Guide. Saving a session will also save the current status of the Workflow Guide, and restoring that session later would show that the step or process had been previously completed. If a project has to be set aside for a period of time, this can indicate where to resume work. More information about using sessions will be presented in video 6 of the Quick Start tutorial series. Use of the Workflow Guide is not required, but it can be very helpful as a visual aid for easily navigating through both the optional and recommended processes in the proper order. If desired, processes can also be launched directly from the Processes tab in the main menu, as shown here. The next Quick Start video will illustrate how to connect data, set parameters, and run a process.